This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com. WWE officially announced this morning that they have an agreement with the USA Network to air WWE's new weekly Wednesday night NXT show live on the USA Network starting at 8 p.m. Now, it's interesting that they're going to be doing the tapings at Full Sail University, which has a 400-person sellout, so that's a pretty small venue. I've been looking at results over the past year, and they often don't sell it out. This is going to be a competitive show with All Elite Wrestling that right now is going to arenas that hold between 4,000 and 20,000 fans. It's also noteworthy that Dave Meltzer is reporting that this deal to have NXT on the USA Network is worth at least $50 million, possibly more. This means that for the first time, NXT will actually make money. Up to this point, NXT has been a losing money brand, according to the Wrestling Observer. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these Wednesday night tapings. At first, it appears it's going to be mostly NXT talent. Obviously, if they start losing in the ratings to AEW, they will bring more main roster stars onto the television show. Right now, it appears Vince McMahon is not going to be at the weekly tapings in Full Sail University, but that could change according to Dave Meltzer. He is going to be very, very busy with the XFL as well as the 3 hours of Raw every Monday, and I guess there's going to be 3 hours of SmackDown. The actual SmackDown show on Fox is going to be 2 hours, but according to Dave Meltzer, the 205 live show is likely going to be gone, and there's going to be a third hour of Friday Night Live Wrestling, either on FS1 after the SmackDown show or right on the WWE Network. Before this, NXT was only doing one taping every 4 weeks. It's unknown if the NXT performers are going to get raises now that WWE is going to be having all this money coming in from USA Network for the USA TV show. It is believed that with NXT airing on the USA Network, they're going to have a better chance of beating AEW in the ratings than if they were on FS1, as fans are not used to seeing wrestling on FS1 right now, and USA has the long history of having the WWE, and they're also in more homes than FS1. So I have no loyalty to either brand. I'm not employed by AEW or WWE, so I'll be interested to see what happens. AEW has very good production values. Other than their top stars, I haven't been impressed with the lower level talent. It seems to be a lot of lightweight wrestlers doing very high spot, independent style wrestling, slapping the legs on kicks and so forth, which I'm not sure is going to appeal to mainstream audience. I could be very wrong on this. Obviously, they are selling out their TV tapings up to this point, so maybe I'm just completely off and I'm in the minority that doesn't find that type of style of wrestling entertaining. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what the ratings are. Obviously, I think AEW is going to do a huge rating for their first episode, but after 10 weeks goes by, I'll be very interested to see what both NXT and AEW are getting on Wednesday nights. WWE is going to have a total of about 8 hours of new programming on TV every week, not including pay-per-view weeks when they're going to go up to probably 13 hours of new programming, which is a lot of wrestling to watch. So the brand is already a little stale and boring. Now they're adding another show. So that's a lot of wrestling to take in. And we also have Ring of Honor, MLW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and some other companies. NWA says they're going to be doing some tapings in September. So there's going to be a lot of wrestling out there. There's still no word on if AEW is going to air in Canada, and nothing announced yet if this NXT show is going to air in Canada. However, WWE has a very good relationship with Rogers Sportsnet, so you could likely expect that it will air in Canada, which is great for wrestlers because there's more jobs out there, and it's going to be great for people like me if this makes more interest in the public in professional wrestling. Me as a independent wrestling promoter / wrestling video producer. Finally, one last news note. I did report the other day that Tony Schiavone has a deal with AEW. I guess he's also going to remain on with MLW, and some type of agreement has been made between MLW where he can also do AEW shows. MLW usually tapes once a month on Thursdays. AEW is going to be doing their tapings on Wednesdays with occasional pay-per-views, so I don't see too many conflicts happening there, sharing an announcer. Wrestlers could be different when you consider a guy like Harry Smith. He could potentially do both, but would MLW be happy if he does jobs in AEW? I don't know about that, so it could get more complicated regarding wrestler sharing.